Some special needs students in the Lowcountry are not getting the education they need to succeed, even though we're all paying federal dollars to help them.
The State Department of Education is cracking down on the Williamsburg County School District after warning them for more than a year. Carter Coyle breaks down those violations in this Live 5 investigative report.
Systemic, long-standing, uncorrected noncompliance. Pretty harsh words in this letter from the South Carolina Department of Education to the Williamsburg County School District. The state says it's received formal written complaints over the past 2 years about students with special needs.
Parents have to be the advocates for their children.
Susie Phillips is one mom who's been pushing for changes in Williamsburg County Schools' special needs program.
We want them to learn and have some function as adults.
She lives in Columbia, and her son lives at a treatment facility in Williamsburg County called Willow Glen Academy.
And I come about once a week to spend time with him and have lunch or dinner with him.
Many of the kids at Willow Glen have disabilities. They ride the bus and go to school just like any other county student. But the state says when they get to school, they aren't getting an education like every other student.
Supplies they may need in the classroom, depending on their disability, could be sensory items, obviously assistive technology, computer access, just technology for children that maybe can't talk, smart boards, just anything to help them learn and get on an even playing field with like a typical child.
In Williamsburg, there's not often certified teachers in the right areas.
I sat down with Peter Coip at the State Department of Education in Columbia to understand exactly what's happening in Williamsburg County. He says it's more about what's not happening. Some of the most serious problems include the failure to include students in regular classrooms and not isolate or restrict them, offer them the same length of school day as their peers, provide technology and adaptive supplies in the classroom, involve the students in PE even if it needs to be specialized for them, and create individual education plans, or IEPs, and review them with parents.
It needs to happen. It has to happen. It's the law.
The law she's talking about is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA.
The idea behind it is that all students should have access to the general ed curriculum.
Coip's team makes sure all South Carolina schools are following those federal IDEA rules so they can continue getting federal grant money. Each county is reviewed every 6 years, and 2 years ago in Williamsburg's review, the state started uncovering problems.
We had found some systemic issues with respect to their programs for students with disabilities, and so we give them a year to make those corrections. They did not correct within a year.
Which is why this letter tells Williamsburg the state is now making them use 25% of its $3 million IDEA grant to correct these substantial violations.
The letters are pretty firm when we have to make them firm to make sure that they understand it.
If Williamsburg doesn't fix those problems, the district could lose part or all of the IDEA grant. The superintendent of Williamsburg County Schools, Carrie Brock, turned down multiple requests for an interview. In a statement, she said in part, the district is committed to addressing all issues of noncompliance. In the statement, Superintendent Brock also says they're working on a proposed budget and trying to hire more staff, such as an occupational therapist.
Trying to make sure that we're not leaving anybody out, and good instruction catches all students.
I've been praying about it a lot, and I'm optimistic that things, like I said, things have been changing and things are going to continue to change.
The school district has to come up with a plan to correct its violations by the end of this year. One of our questions still, how has the millions of dollars in grant money been spent until now? We've requested a breakdown of those expenditures and will continue covering this story.